Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So I'm recording this like about 3 hours after the last episode went up, so there is only a couple of comments that I'll be going over in this video. But anyways, in the last episode, if you didn't catch it, we had probably one of my best steals ever in a franchise mode, that being in the 4th round we drafted, where is he? Connor Recchi. As you can see, this guy was a 4th round medium elite, 70 overall out of the draft because he's 19 years of age. Very excited to see what this guy could turn out to be. I think he's going to be probably like a future penalty killer alongside guys like Pettersson in the NHL. Like, that's where I'd say is the ideal spot for him. Like Pettersson and him being like the 1-2 punch kind of on the first line penalty kill. And maybe there would be a lot of shorthanded goals and stuff like that. So very excited to see what that guy develops into, and hopefully he has a good first season in the AHL because we already signed him to his ELC. So yeah, excited to see what this guy could do. Didn't really pick up a lot of points when he was playing in the DEL, but obviously that stuff is all generated. But you can see that he's got some pretty solid offensive instincts in terms of passing for an elite player. That's two-way. His shooting category is pretty solid as well. His physical play is not really there, but he's a bigger guy, 6'3", 202. So I expect him to be able to like dish out some hits now and again and whatnot too. So yeah, very impressed with that pick, and yeah, just very excited to see what he ends up becoming. But anyways, before we get into free agency and starting up the season simulation, or we'll simulate at least like probably, I'd say maybe a couple months of the season, I do have a number of comments to go through, well, 2 of them at least. The first one is from Nick Barnes OC. He says, Recchi is the best 4th rounder I have ever seen. My biggest deal when I drafted a 75 medium elite left wing power forward in round 3, which sounds absolutely absurd because for me, always like I feel like those type of guys should be 1st rounders, even if they're overagers, because it just doesn't make sense for an elite player that's like 70 overall plus to be in like a 3rd or 4th round situation. Because technically, a 70 overall medium elite is better than like a 68 overall medium top 6. But for some reason, just because those guys are 18, they go in the 1st round, and then the medium elites get pushed back because they're a year older, which kind of is a little bit weird. So. But yeah, there is that comment. And then the last and final comment is from HockeyGuy88. He says, absolutely go after Makar. If you don't get him, there's still some solid top 4 options. I would also overpay a depth forward a little bit just to make sure you get over the cap floor. I asked him about how much term he would give to Makar, and he said 6 years. The 6 years that he's asking for should be okay. So likely we are going to be pursuing the top free agent in Cale Makar, which is absolutely nuts that he's a free agent at the right time for us, because we do need a right-handed top 4 defenseman. And while this guy is insane, obviously, in real life and both in this game, so we're likely going to be pursuing him. But if for some reason we lose out on him, if Pesci is still there, I wouldn't mind Pesci, but 2 teams are interested, so I feel like he won't be. There's also guys like Carlo, Walker, Marino, Liljegren. So there is some other right-handed top 4 options out there, which is good. But for right now, we're definitely going to be pursuing Cale Makar because, like I was saying, Cale Makar definitely fits into his team's defensive core. And we really don't need any offense except for, like HockeyGuy88 was saying, is a depth like forward or something like that that's making a good amount of money. Just to keep us like afloat with the cap space. As you can see, we have 33 million. So if we sign Makar, we're down to like $20 million, and we'll probably sign like a depth piece to like, I'd say like 7 million, just to make sure we're right near the cap floor. If we need to sign more players, we will do that. But you can see forward wise, we got like Byfield, Vance, Holtinen, Pettersson, Nazar, Lambert, Lazari, Reichel, Kitchuk, Khrushchev, Olsen, and even Gavin Hayes, I think his name is. Yeah, Gavin Hayes should be cracking our lineup this season, because I did let go of a lot of guys in the last episode as well. And then with the addition of somebody like Makar, you're looking at like Makar and Girard, which is pretty good. Korchinski and Brunstrom likely on the top 4, and then Edvinsson and probably Regula, which is not bad. So we might need to sign, actually we probably won't sign ourselves a depth defenseman. I might use somebody like Krudel, who's not really going to develop much more, or Isaac Phillips, one of the 2. But otherwise, we should have a pretty solid roster for next season if we're able to get Cale Makar for that defensive core. And yeah, hopefully this team has a good year ahead. Like if Makar could bring the offense and help like guys like Vance out in terms of production, I think that's definitely a huge win for this team. So let's get to those free agent signings, and let's start off by signing ourselves a depth forward to a decent chunk of change. Who is going to be the lucky one? I would prefer somebody that could win faceoffs just in case I need to throw them into a center spot. So somebody that's not really that old would be nice as well. 27, Linus Karlsson, good offensive instincts, not the worst defensive instincts, good stick checking, solid face-offs at an 80 overall. That sounds like the perfect guy to get paid a lot of money. So Karlsson, you're going to get a one-way deal, and we're going to give you, Cale Makar's getting 13 probably. So we'll do like 1 year at like, let's do $7 million. It's a lot of money to give to a random guy that's just going to be a depth guy for us, but it's better to make sure we're right at the cap floor if we can, or right around the cap floor. So 1 year at $7 million, Linus Karlsson, enjoy that money. And then Cale Makar, the big one. We'll do the 6-year deals that he's asking for. San Jose is also interested, but obviously I'm going to try and one-up them a bit. I am willing to give 13.85 maybe. Yeah, I don't want to overpay too much on Makar, but 13.85 for 6 years, he's worth that type of money. So we'll offer that, and hopefully he accepts that and does not go to the San Jose Sharks. If we end up losing him, the chance on getting him, like I said, I wouldn't mind guys like Walker, Marino, or Liljegren, because I feel like Pesci and Carlo are likely going to sign elsewhere before we get that chance to sign those guys. Even like somebody like Jordan Spence wouldn't be bad, considering he's only 26, and he is an OFD, but he's an RFA. That's the only thing. So I probably wouldn't want to qualify him unless Pittsburgh can't absolutely sign him or something like that. But those would be our only signings. Wasn't there anything else I needed to sign this offseason? I don't remember if I need to sign any coaches. Yes, I did. Okay, so we need some assistant coaches. I almost forgot about that, but I wanted to remember. So let's see what there is for associate coaches out there. Actually, just coaches in general. We could always just sign the best available, like you guys have been saying, but I want some generalists, because I think generalists are usually a lot better than specific coaches for specific areas. 55%, 62 for Chevrier. He is a generalist. Let's go Chevrier. He will be an associate coach for us, but we're going to give you a lot of money. It says we don't have the budget, but I'm pretty sure you guys say budget doesn't matter in this, so should be able to get him in. There we go. And then we'll also get ourselves an assistant coach as well. Somebody that's a generalist that has good team fit, if possible. 56% for Beaufait. Yeah, that sounds fine. He'll be an assistant coach. We'll give you a little bit more money, because we are nice here. We give money out to people who deserve it. So there you go. And I think that should be it. The AHL coaches, I'll let the AI automatically sign some. Yeah, I think that's all we really need to do. So let's advance a day and see, or a couple days, and see if we get the big fish in Cale Makar. I think he would be the perfect thing to help out this team in terms of offensive levels, and hopefully turning Vance into a future like 50 goal scorer or something like that. So let's advance a few days, see if we get Cale Makar, and that would be the biggest signing in team's history probably, as we do get Chevrier as one of the coaches, which is nice. Now we got to wait on the other coach, and he's going to accept as well. Perfect. So our coaching staff is set, and Linus Karlsson has accepted the $7 million. Not a surprise on that front. Come on, Cale, please. He has accepted as well. Huge, huge signing for the Blackhawks. Cale Makar has joined the Chicago Blackhawks and is now going to take this team hopefully to the next level. We have 13 million in cap space because we did sign Karlsson to $7 million. But look at this defensive core now. It looks a lot better with a number one right-handed defenseman. I like that. And our forward core obviously still looks pretty good as well. Obviously, Vance is an RFA this upcoming offseason. I honestly almost want to give him the 8-year deal already. Get his extension out of the way. Even if he has not performed in the playoffs last year, I am already going to give him his extension because I want to get him on a team-friendly deal. Just because he might not pan out to be the best high elite player, but he might end up being a huge steal. Like, this is kind of what you would do with like somebody like Tim Stützle Jack Hughes, you know, give them big contracts, and then they pan out eventually, and your contracts look like really good. So we'll try and get him on the 85% trick. So let's see if we can get him down to 8.375 for 8 years, which would, I think, be a really, really solid deal, especially if he becomes that high elite type of player, even maybe a franchise player at some point, because he should eventually, like, since he's highly potential, jump up to like a 93, 94. Like, he honestly could get up to franchise level. So I think giving him a contract already in terms of that is something we want to do for this team. So we'll see if he accepts that. And yeah, let's begin the sim to next season. And he's already going to accept that. What a huge contract. I always wanted to play with a top-ranked team. That's nice to say there, Asher. Hopefully you are worth that type of money, because obviously your last playoffs were not really that good, but your first ever playoffs you were really good at, and you've been pretty good so far in your career. So that contract doesn't come into effect until not this upcoming season, but the next season. So hopefully he has a breakout year here in his third year of his ELC. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what he could do now that we have like Cale Makar on the team on the back end to help out with that offensive level. So let's rework these lines a little bit here. Do I want Holtonen on the top line since he's a sniper? And probably not, just because of the fact that Vance is a sniper. Yeah, we'll put Nazar on the top line and try that out. And then we will probably... Lambert's not really huge on faceoffs. Zari was good on faceoffs, so I probably want Lambert on the wing. But I don't really like him not in the top 6. Let's go like this. Yeah, we'll go like that for our top 6. It's a little bit weird. Khrushchev, What about Reichel? Maybe... Yeah, we could try something random. And we'll try this. I don't really know what to do with our forward core. So there you go. And then defensively, Girard and Makar don't have chemistry since they're both OFDs. So we probably would go Brunstrom in... Actually, Brunstrom's two-way. So Sam Girard gets demoted to the top 6 pairing. I guess I'm okay with that. That's minus. Ooh. Yeah, that's the only thing is Girard doesn't fit really with this defensive core anymore. So Girard could be hypothetically somebody we trade away, but at this stage, I think we'll obviously keep him. Regula and Isaac Phillips, who's scratched? Oh, Edvinson. Edvinson needs to play. So we'll go... What do we want to do here? Try and figure out something to work with this team. Yeah, I guess we'll have to run with that -1 on the top pairing for now, but Sam Girard likely at the end of this season, I don't think he'll come back because now we have Cale Makar. Because that makes it a minus on that top pairing, which is a bit weird, but it's okay. It's manageable for now. We should probably also get another depth player up here. Or do we have enough? We could call it Tepley, but I want Recchi to have a really good first season. He's up to a 72 now, damn. So I would probably rather keep that top line the way it is in the AHL, just because I want Recchi to have a very solid first season in the AHL. So obviously Recchi would be eventually like a top line player of the future for us, though. So I think we'll run with the top 6 looking like that. Yeah, I think we just need a depth, another depth forward to sign for this team. Yeah, that's probably all we need, really. And in power play, Vance playing with Makar, Byfield, Pedersen, and Nazar. Yeah, that's decent. And then Lambert's probably second power play. Yeah. Yeah, our second power play doesn't look nowhere near as good, but it makes sense. Maybe actually I should put Pedersen down the middle. Pedersen getting power play time is good, though. Wait, who is there? Nazar. Yeah, I'm going to take Nazar off the first power play. I don't think he really needs the first power play time. And we will probably throw... Who on the point? Brunstrom's already there. Let's give Edvinson some... Actually, Korchinski's not getting power play time, is he? Yeah, Korchinski's not getting any power play time, so I'm going to take Holtonen off this unit. Put Korchinski in. And then... Who do we want to put on this unit, though? Oh yeah, it was yeah, we'll move Kurashev off. Yeah, Kurashev off the power play. And we'll put in Nazar on this unit. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do with. So our power play looks pretty good now, and our team looks pretty good. Let's just sign ourselves one more depth forward if there is one in free agency. And then, yeah, we'll get simulating and see what this new look team is looking like to start the year. But let's go to free agents. There should be at least somebody that's like a depth guy. Jordan Spence is still an RFA, so I guess the Penguins can't really sign him, which is interesting. So depth forward wise, who do I want to sign? Somebody that's actually listed as a depth forward would probably be better. 80, 78, don't really like that. Graham Clark is a sniper. He has good shooting, but that's pretty much it. Now let's sign Kevin Stemland as a depth option. There you go. And then he'll be playing on our NHL team as a depth option. Let's advance a few days. He should accept that easily. Screw you, LA. I don't need to make any trades. There you go. Stemland is accepted. We'll call him up because he'll be a depth option. Just didn't want to screw up with that top line in the AHL. Because that top line in the AHL, we want Recchi to have a crazy good season down there. And that's the only way we need to do it like that. So there you go. There's our depth. And there is our team for this upcoming season. Not the strongest team on paper, but Cale Makar definitely should help drive the offense, at least for that top line, to the next level. It's a bit weird dropping Holton into the second line, but I think it makes sense because of the fact we want to kind of balance out the lines, and I don't want fans having his goals taken away from Holton. And like, I want two lines that there's a good amount of snipers on. So yeah, and I also should give Pettersson some more points, hopefully, than he did last year. So let's begin the simulation. I think we'll go up to January the 1st, maybe. Yeah, we'll probably go up to January the 1st. Get a good chunk of the season done, just so we can see how the new team is kind of performing, and hopefully Vance is having a breakout year by that point. Because, like I said, I really hope that contract we gave him is an absolute steal that starts next year, because that would be really nice. 7 assists in 7 games for Holton and led the team in points. He had no goals, so which is kind of weird for a sniper, but it is what it is. Also, I'm very curious to see what we, once we get to the halfway point, or till January the 1st, what Recchi is up to in the AHL level. Because that AHL team is really good, so with Recchi getting added to it, he should be hypothetically set up for a very good rookie season in Rockford. So let's take 1 month at a time, see how this team does. Take it a little bit slow, but hopefully the addition of Makar takes our offense from where it was last year and pumps it up a lot more. And so far, so good. We're winning games early on, which is always a nice thing to see. 5-2-1 in our first 8 games. Love to see it. What are we standings-wise? We are tied for first with the Coyotes in our division. Not that that matters at this stage, but still. Let's go another month. Try and flip through this a little bit quicker. There's a loss to Detroit. Game against Islanders is a loss. A game against Carolina is a loss. And then we bounce back with a couple wins, okay. A little bit of a weird start to the season, but I mean, a weird start is better probably than a full-on dominant start, because if we have a full-on dominant start, we know that we're going to be a first-round exit, right? So, definitely would rather be around 500, you know. 12-7-2, 26 points. We are second best in the division, only behind the Avs. So the Avs are still doing really good, even though they just lost Cale Makar to us. It's kind of funny. And the last little month of simulation before we take a look at some player stats. There's another loss. Oh, I don't really know what to make of this team right now. We're losing a lot of games here early on in the year, but I don't know if it's the chemistry with the top pairing or what. As Nazar has been injured with a mild concussion, that's not great. Let's just go replace player. There's a couple wins. Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird start to the year, but maybe it's just players trying to get used to each other and whatnot. So, not gonna take it too far as in order to make moves yet, but maybe it's just the coaching staff. I don't really know. Yeah, we're losing actually a lot more games than we should be. 16, 14, and 3 now at this stage. 16, 15, and 3. And we're 3 points back of a playoff spot. Our offense has been shit too. I don't understand it. We brought in like a freaking good player, and look at our leading point getter. It's Connor freaking Zary with 24 points in 34 games. What? Okay, this must be the coach. It must be the coach, right? 55% scheme fit. Oh yeah, it's probably the coach. 55 is not good. You want coaches in the 60s, I'm pretty sure. Chevrier, can't see what his team fit is, apparently. Yeah, Duret's maybe not that good. Like, he's good for veterans, but he's having, like, a rough time with his team right now. I don't know why this team's not winning. Like, his seasons with us, he's been pretty good for the most part until this season. I don't know what the problem is. Do not know what the problem is at all. Let's take a look at our player stats and team stats. Maybe that will help us get a better picture of what's wrong. Because that is really weird that we're really under point per game. We only have 95 goals this season so far, so our offensive levels are definitely the problem, I think. Yeah, we're one of the worst offensive teams in the league. Not the worst offensive team, but still. And goals against per game wise, we are not bad defensively, I guess. Yeah, maybe we're just a defensive team. I don't really know. Our power play is good, though. Our power play is third best in the NHL. We have 21 power play goals of our 95 goals this season. So we're just not scoring a lot 5-on-5. And our penalty kill has been the worst in the league. Interesting. We are terrible on home ice, good on the road, though. I honestly have no idea what the problem is. Like, what do we do to make this team better? Nazar's got 22 points. Vance has got 20 points. Okay. So, like, it looks like we're not doing too well offensively, but the depth scoring is decent. Like, there's guys picking up points, but there's also minus players, which is kind of weird. Halton, 22 points. Hayes, 10 points ain't bad. McCarr's got 19 points so far. That's not really what I wanted to pay him that much for. He's not really off to a good start. Maybe it's Sam Girard. Maybe it's Sam Girard, because like I said, we maybe should try and find a defenseman that's better to play with McCarr. Like a pure defensive defenseman. I don't really know. So far, Tarasov has been an elite backup, but Kamesso's having a rough time. I don't understand this team at all. Like, the plus-minus isn't the worst, but it's not great either. And then the offense has definitely not been there. Like, most of our goals that we've scored so far this season have been on the power play. Or a good chunk of them have been. Like, I don't know if we need to make line adjustments or what. Like, the power play is doing good, but 5-on-5, this team is not. 5 goals, 20 points. I don't really know what to do. Like, Pettersson's not really reaching that elite potential either. That's just weird. There's got to be something we could do to change this up a bit. We'll try and reignite Halton in advance. I don't really know. And then we'll try. Like, Zari's been good, so I don't really know if I want to change up much stuff on that third line. Let's move Khrushchev up. Can any of these guys take face-offs? Only Kachuk, kind of. Yeah, I think we gotta trade Sam Girard. Yeah, trading Sam Girard, honestly, is probably what I think this team needs. Because I don't really think he fits our defensive core anymore with Cale McCarr added. Or maybe we need a new coach. Maybe that's something we need. Like, maybe if we changed over one of our Assistant coaches, it would be better. Like, let's demote this guy for a second. Let's try and see what these other guys would look like as new head coaches. See if these guys fix our chemistry defensively. As maybe we just need a new head coach. As weird as it sounds. So chemistry is improved with this coach on the defensive front. Interesting. But still, it's not the best. So there's that. But how does our special teams look? Good on the first unit, not great on the second unit. Penalty kill looks better. So this coach might be suited better for us, in a sense. Yeah, this coach might be better for us, almost. Yeah, we might honestly try with this coach instead at the beginning of the next episode. Because maybe it's just a coach, and then Durrett needs to be demoted or promoted back to an associate coach. We could also try Beaufait too. Yeah, let's try that for a second. Might as well see what the best option is for our head coach. So we'll try Beaufait for a second, see if that helps out with chemistry at all, or is it worse? It's decent for the top six, not good for the third line. It's okay for the defensive core, but not as good. Yeah, that other guy I think is probably the best option for our head coach. Which means Durrett might have to get fired, and we might have to find ourselves another coach. I don't really know. So you're going to be going back to our NHL assistant coach. You're going to go back to our head coach for now. And yeah, it looks like something like that. Yeah, Chevrier might be the better option. Let's take a quick look at... Actually, let's take a quick look at the AHL. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I wanted to see. Recchi leading the team in points in Rockford. 20 points in 28 games. And the Ice Hogs are first place in the Central Division. Love to see it. Let's go, Connor Recchi. He's up to an 80? You gotta be joking me. What? Holy shit. This guy literally has played 28 games and he's already ready to jump to the NHL. Now that's a question. We let him play the rest of the year because he's still listed as a depth forward in the AHL. He's got his shot power and stuff like that is getting better. His shooting accuracy is getting better. His passing, his offensive awareness, his defensive awareness has gone up. Holy shit. He's only played 28 games. And this guy's already like looking like he's going to be really good. Wow. I didn't think he was going to jump up to an 80 overall in like half a season. But here we are. So Recchi is going to be very exciting. How's his takeaway numbers and stuff like that since he's a two-way? He does really good on the face-off dot as well as a winger, but that's in the AHL as a 60 on the draw. So he's not going to take a lot of face-offs in the NHL, but gives away the puck quite a bit. Does fight a decent amount too. Interesting. Let's go, Recchi. I don't know if he should get to the NHL yet or not. We might just keep playing him with this line of Donald, Little, and Tepley with him, I think it is. Or maybe it's Savoy that's playing with them. But regardless, I think Recchi needs to keep playing in the AHL for a little bit longer, but probably by the end of the season he could be in the NHL. That's what I wanted to see. Let's go, Recchi. Let's go. Future channel legend, maybe. Who knows? But let's take a look at what I was going to take a look at. The trading block. I feel like Sam Girard moving him out and getting ourselves another really good defenseman instead of him might be the better option. So we'll take a look and see what's out there. But maybe the team's going to have a really strong second half of the season, so maybe we don't need to make moves. But that has happened in the past where we made no moves, and then we've never really been successful. So Grizzlick, Lindholm, Stanley. Lindholm is still signed for $6.5 million though. Might be a good top four of them, but still. Good defenders there in Boston. What else we got here? Wall, Ristolainen. Good defenders in Calgary. Or Zach Werenski on a 1-year deal. Does potentially fit in our defensive core as well. Do we trade Sam Girard, bring in Zach Werenski instead? for the defensive core. It's something that's intriguing. He is up there in age, though. There's also Trouba, Riley, Manson. Like, there's other options, too. But Zach Werenski might be a better option. Not bringing in back Seth Jones. He's still making a 9.5, which is funny. But there is actually a lot of solid players out there if we want to rework this team a little bit in order to make ourselves a better team for the playoffs if we are actually going to get there. Because at this rate, it's not certain that we are going to get there. Like, at least the scoring seems to be decent on the team, like, depth-wise, but it's still not great in terms of how many goals we're scoring a game. So, we need to score more 5-on-5 if we want to be more successful. But at least there's trade options, so that gives us a chance to maybe save ourselves a little bit. Steven Stamkos has 2 years left, damn. That would have been interesting to bring in Stammer, but we don't really need another sniper on this team. And that is that for the trading block. Let me take a look at the draft class quickly. I want to see what the first overall pick's looking like right now. A franchise level player. Interesting. Interesting. Similar to Timo Solani. Blake Burnett. Interesting, huh? So if we somehow have a really rough season and win the draft lottery, we could get ourselves a franchise level player, but I don't really think that's necessary since it's a franchise sniper and we already just extended Advance so long term. But wanted to take a look at this anyways, just for fun. Even though it is early. Just to see if we're able to find ourselves some steals for the draft ahead. But there's that. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we might make some trades depending on what you guys think we should do to get this offense back to normal. We could also call up Recchi if you guys think it's something that this team should do, because he does probably fit on this roster quite well at the moment, but I think it's better for him to probably play a year in the AHL, because or else he's going to be playing on our fourth line. Like, by the end of the season, if he's like an 83 and we make the playoffs, definitely we could play him. But for now, I think it's best that he gets a good time in the AHL and hopefully continues to produce and develop at a crazy rate. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.